Oh my god! Stop right there, monsieur. You are trespassing on the French border. Hey guys, it's Katie and welcome back to Lucid and Inciting Incident. In the last episode, we watched the third episode of Gover Mecher. We went to District 6 because Shigure said that she had a mission for us to retrieve a file, and we met like a creepy little girl named Eri there. I guess she's being bullied by or picked on by other students at the academy. And after that, we went to lunch and talked to Eri for a bit, and we just now parted ways with her. So let's continue. They should know better. They should give her a chance. Afternoon classes are another dreary past. This time even Yaiko is sullen, staring into his desk and murmuring non-sequential words under his breath. The moment the bell rings, Masato blazes into the classroom and lunges for me. I instinctively crawl beneath the desk, bracing myself for the full measure of his fury. You! I glance around the classroom. Yaiko is staring blankly at Masato. Elizabeth is once again immersed in conversation with her groupies. Misaki is Misaki. I wave frantically in her direction, but she's too immersed in her phone to pay me any heed. You know how many days you've skipped track? 3? Wrong. The answer is too many. Hey look, I've been busy. Like hell you been. Busy with what? Napping? Eating? Thinking? He's got a good point. You disappoint me, man. Yeah? Join the club. Damn it, just stop ditching. Well, I don't blame him. No, why is the character's like images not being found in this game? What's going on? Rue strides into the room. She hesitates when she sees Misaki, but shakes it off in the blink of an eye. What makes you say that, eh? Well, you know, all you talk about is track. Yama's probably tired of hearing it by now. But I don't just run, I can swim too, and do basketball. She ignores him and the approaching Misaki and smiles gently at me. Don't worry, Mr. Ryota says that you're not in trouble. Mr. Ryota? Why would... Oh, right, Shoji, the fight. But that's not what's important right now. She has to save me from Masato. Say, Rue, don't you think it's awfully late and we should be... But Misaki rushes in front of me, reaching for Rue's hands. Rue, I need to speak to you. Rue only steps back from both of us, staring blankly at Misaki. Why won't you listen? I told you the other day to leave me alone. It's you who isn't listening. She whips around on one heel and marches out of the room. Ah, shacket, this too to deal great. Wait, what did you just... But she flies past me and sprints out of the room, right on Rue's heels. Masato stares wordlessly at her back, mouth agape. That girl, Misaki, was she talking street? Talking what? Nothing, ain't nothing. Wait, did you understand her? Hang it, you're changing the subject again, ain't you? What, me? No. You gotta come to track, man. I'll drag you there myself. Time to resort to drastic measures, since I was ditched by everyone. Actually, where did Yaiko go? Huh, that's weird. Well, what's it gonna be? Oh, would you look at the time? I gotta go. Don't do it, man, don't. And I promptly run for my life, lunging over desks and chairs and bowling down the hallway. There's only one safe place from being bulldozed by his fury, one place that can be a haven for a refugee. I slam my fist against the door, ignoring the bewildered stares of passing students. Mr. Ryota! Mr. Ryota! Open up before I die! Ah, dang nabbit, kid. Why do you always have to interrupt me in the middle of a battle? He's always playing like the Clan War games or something. Nevertheless, the door creaks open. I jump in and kick it shut, twisting the lock with what may or may not have been a little more force than necessary. Mr. Ryota is staring at me with eyebrows lifted and mouth slightly agape, no doubt taking in my unkept mass of hair and sweat beading on my forehead. First a fight, now running from someone? You just love trouble today, don't you, kid? Probably more like trouble loves me. Oh, kid. Important life lesson. Trouble only finds people who are looking for it. So basically, I deserve everything that happens to me? I didn't say that. I love the music in this game. I've been listening to the soundtrack. It's so cool. Just that sometimes, people who want nothing more in life than to go through, do nothing significant, and pass on in peace, well, they actually want a whole lot more. I don't understand. Well then, maybe we should talk about something else. I hesitantly take a seat and glance over my shoulder. No sign of the marvelous Maza. Since you're here, I guess we'd better have a proper session. Why are you being chased, Too popular with the girls? Ha, as if. It was Masato Kurogane. He loves track, and I don't, so he's trying to change that. And I presume it's not working out so hot for you? Yeah, you could say that. Actually, it seems like Masato's always been on my case because of track, even the first time we met. Well, it was at last year's club recruitment day. I remember hating that time. Well, to be fair, I hated everything, but especially club recruitment day. No matter how quiet and insignificant I tried to be, someone would always call me out every minute. They tried to get me to join language club, or music club, or art club, or even squirrel watching club. As you can imagine, by the time I met Masato, I wanted nothing to do with clubs, especially from someone who, frankly speaking, looked like the stereotypical idiot jock. Hey you! But contrary to popular belief, I actually did have some semblance of manners. So I stopped and turned to address this bothersome kid. Not interested. I expected some fake smile or even some pleading, but to my shock, the guy immediately pulled back his fist and socked me right in the face. Jeez, Masato! Ow, what the hell? Don't give me that bull. I ain't even said anything yet. Awful rude of you not to even give me a chance. You know what we call that? Uncivilized. I'm uncivilized? You're the one who just punched me. Ah, you big baby. That wasn't even a gentle tap. The terrible thing was that he looked completely serious about it. To be honest, I briefly entertained the thought that he was part of an abusive household or something. Of course, the guy took my thoughtful silence for petulance and steamed ahead. That's more like it. Name's Masato. Masato Kurogane. What's yours? Leaving. You're leaving? Yeah, right now. Call me rude, but I was at my breaking point. Getting a fist straight to the nose wasn't exactly welcoming. I might have admired this guy's courage and utter disregard for social necessities, but other than that, he bugged me. A lot. Oh, I see what you did there. But you can't leave. Not before you join track. Track? Hell yeah, our club, man. It binds you for life, makes you sweat, gives you pain, stretches your physical constitution till you think you're gonna die. If this guy thought that was a great sales pitch, he had a long way to go. Yeah, not interested. That ain't all, man. Track can save your life, just like it saved mine. Saved his life? Yeah, right. Good for you. Ain't it? Track's literally a lifesaver, man. Thanks, but no thanks. Hey, where are you going? I'm just getting to the best part. I cried on the inside, but patiently nodded my head. If you get good enough, you can get a scholarship. This place don't come cheap, you know. Even a little amount would help your parents. Things were beginning to make sense. Is that why you're in track? Come to think of it, you still haven't told me your name. Interestingly enough, I found that I was actually beginning to like this guy. At least he wasn't superficial like everyone else. If anything, he was the opposite. He wore his heart on his sleeve. Besides, I need to do something while Rue was in drama. What else was I gonna join? Art? Dance? Squirrel watching? I'm Yama Ishimoto. Huh? What kind of name is that? My parents like poetry. No way! Oh gosh, he was probably gonna rant about how poetry and literature is a waste of time. Who's their favorite? Matsuo Basho? Kobayashi Isa? Or maybe foreign guys like Edgar Allan Poe or William Shakespeare? What the? You like poetry? Of course I do. Poetry is the manliest way to cry. This guy only got stranger. What about literature? Manliest way to hate people. Science? Manliest way to take stuff apart. Math? Manliest way to put stuff together. History? Manliest way to predict the future. By any chance, what are your grades? Average of 99. No way. The highest class average I ever had was a 92. This guy was smarter than me? I don't understand you at all. It's okay, you don't need to. You just gotta join track. On second thought, I didn't think he was smarter, he just studied harder. Still, it took guts and passion and everything I didn't have. Okay, I'll try it out, but only for a little bit. Ha, I knew you'd come around. Come on, let's get to track. Already? Don't you have other unfortunate souls to recruit? Nah, the others take care of them. Let's go. And that was how I met Masato. I was never really a regular track member, but for some reason, he always wanted me to be. Even now, I don't really understand why. He probably just wants to help people become their best. Then why would he pick me? Me, when there's so many people who would love track and running and competitions and all that crap. Isn't that the whole point of picking you? Because I'm useless, so turning me into somebody useful means a lot? Nah, because you're a challenge. You know, that doesn't exactly make me feel any better. Why not? You should feel very, very loved. Oh, I do. A bit too loved. Masato probably sees you like a little cousin or a younger brother. Do you know that? What? Masato does? Why would he do that? You know, kid, sometimes there's just nice people in the world and you shouldn't question it. And sometimes there are ulterior motives behind everything. Masato Kurigane. Ulterior motives? Well, that's true, I guess. It's not like Masato would fake anything. But it still doesn't make any sense. Why would he choose me, a random stranger, as his little brother? To be honest, I've usually thought of Masato as my little brother, since he's, you know, kind of obtuse and not cynical and embittered by the world. Something like that, a kind of innocence. Maybe you shouldn't be asking why your friends love you, Yama. Maybe you should be looking for ways to return that love instead of looking ways to deserve it. I like Mr. Ryota. He's trying to help us out, so... I sounded really cool, didn't I? I'm leaving. Aw, come on, kid. That was good. Admit it. I admit it. I'm still leaving. He only chuckles and slaps a hand on my shoulder. Have a good day, kid. I only nod wordlessly in response as I step out of his office. My throat almost feels clogged, as if I just heard something that I really, really needed to hear. Maybe these meetings really are a good thing. Yeah, therapy is really good for you. Like, I've been to a lot of therapists, and I've, talked about my problems, and it just feels like a weight's been lifted off your chest. Holding all of that inside of yourself is very, very bad, very negative, so. Okay. Wow, move those legs, you filthy maggots. Move them, double time. What the heck? What the heck? What's she doing? I peer around. Why is she doing that? I peer around searching for the source of the noise and find Akira racing around the entrance, a large lumpy backpack slung over her shoulders. Oh, Sarge, please, pretty please. I've been running 6 miles. I swear, I'm gonna collapse. I shouldn't be able to hear you over the sound of your tears, Private. Hop to it. Akira? I gingerly step in front of her and wave to catch her attention. She grinds to a halt, tilting her head curiously at me. What are you doing here? I'm here for drama club, of course. But no one else is here. I'm doing an immersion exercise, Lute. An immersion exercise? Yup, I need to act half dead from a boot camp, so I'm gonna run a mile around the school track with this backpack. A mile? But that backpack looks as big as her. Boot camp? Is that why you're calling me Lute? Nah, I'm calling you Lute because Lute is short for lieutenant. Dude, I love how she says like Sarge or Lute. That's so cute. Well, darn my socks. Don't you catch on fast. Usually her antics would annoy me, but for some reason it's soothing right now, like white noise in a messy world. Do you usually do things this intense for drama club? Oh no, this is easy. You should have seen what I had to do yesterday. I was a sadistic serial killer. What did you do for that? I ate a bunch of cereal. Okay, I'm like, what the hell? We just seen in the last episode they went back to the forest where he was murdering another person, so I want to know who it is. I'm not sure whether to feel relieved or exasperated. Say, Lute, if you don't have anything to do right now, why don't you join us? We're doing some exercises that you might like. What makes you think I'll like them? From what Rue says. What exactly does she say? That you'll like the exercises. That's cynical logic. On the contrary, it has nothing to do with bikes. Sigh, well, technically, I don't have anything to do. Wait, Rue will be there? I thought that a silent Akira would be a blessing, but it's just unsettling. Rue has something to do today. But if you come tomorrow, you can watch her bedazzle the crowd. Tomorrow's Saturday, isn't it? Oh, is it? You don't know what day of the week it is? It's Tuesday for my character. And in my defense, there's a half day on Saturdays. Just no clubs, which is kind of important. She doesn't seem to hear me. Instead, she just checks her phone for the time. Hey, boot camp is ending. What about your mile? Let's go! She reaches out and grabs my wrist, but suddenly lets go as if it's a burning iron. I send a questioning look at her, but she only shrugs it off. Come, Lute, adventure awaits! Without any further explanation, she marches into the classroom building. Well, this should be interesting. Akira leads me into classroom 3A, where a dozen students are seated in a ring, looking expectantly at Akira. One of the girls immediately leaps to her feet. I recognize her as the drama club president. Where have you been, maggot? You know how late it is? Immediately, Akira stumbles forward as if she's dead, exhausted, the backpack sliding from her shoulders and crashing to the ground. Sorry, sir. I took a detour. A detour? What kind of detour can you take on a training course? Akira, is she Akira right now? Points a tremulous finger in my direction. He jumped on me, sir. Out of nowhere. I don't even know how he got here. All eyes swivel to me, waiting to see how I handle the sudden development. They're probably expecting me to dodge out, to freeze, or just to stare at them like they're a bunch of weirdos. Heck, I'm even expecting me to do something along those lines. But instead, sheer instinct takes over. Years of make-believe with Rue molds me into what is needed at the moment. A foreign spy who haplessly stumbled onto a military operation. Sorry, I'm a tourist. Lost my way. I suddenly move my hand to my hip, where my imaginary gun holster lies. Surprisingly, the club president is perceptive enough to catch it. He's a spy! Whoa! Right as I pretend to whip out my gun, Akira tackles my arm, throwing me to the ground. I feel a shot of pain run up my shoulder, ripping a very real cry of agony from my throat. Akira proceeds to deftly lock my arms behind my back, leaning over until her mouth is next to my ear. Drop the gun! Through the haze of pain, I manage to hold my character together. Akira nudges my arm, gentler this time, and I yell, opening my fingers in a releasing motion. Sir, what should I do? The club president kneels down, looking me straight in the eye. I tilt my head upward, staring as challengingly as I possibly can. Nice one. Strangers don't usually pick up so easily. The entire room relaxes as she sits before me, bowing her head slightly. Welcome to the drama club. I'm the club president. Sorry you came in on a pretty hectic day. No, it was interesting. Akira, could you let go of me? Akira suddenly squeaks, lunging away from me. An uncharacteristic blush crawls to her cheeks as she vainly attempts to cover her face with her hands. She has a crush on me. Woo! She likes me. It's really unusual for her, but kind of cute. Almost reminds me of Rue. I suppose they've rubbed off each other at this point. Quickly disregarding these thoughts, I focus back to my physical status and move my arm back to its regular position. It twinges painfully. I can't hide a wince, which the club president immediately notices. Oh gosh, are you okay? I test my arm for a moment, but the pain subsided. Probably just overstretched slightly. Nah, I should be fine. It's nothing compared to what Miki's made me do before. Did I hurt you? I'm really sorry, Yama. It's fine, really. Are you sure? It's unsettling to see Akira so meek. I glance at the club president and raise an eyebrow. She seems to understand. Well, let's try some basic exercises for our next scenario. Stanislavski's magic if, everyone. I don't know what the hell that meant, but the rest of the club time is spent in playing around with different objects, pretending that pencils are bombs, chairs are clouds, and desks are shields. It's amazingly refreshing. I almost forgotten how fun it was to just put everything aside and enter a completely different world. I wish I would have taken drama club in high school. Like, I took photography and I was in art and I was in dance and stuff, but I wish I would have joined Drama Club. I think that would have been really fun. I always think that, like, doing voice acting would have been really cool too, like to have that as a job. But I don't know, maybe I'm too shy for it. I don't know. Even when the club's been dismissed, I feel a sense of lightness that I haven't felt in a long time. Hey, Lute! Akira pops up next to me, now returned to her cheery self. Hey, where are you headed? Home. Don't you live in the dorms? I live in the world, therefore anywhere I go is my home. Bizarre as always, the only thing I've grown to understand about this girl is that I'll never understand her. Right. Seriously, where are you going? Come to think of it, I have no clue what I'm doing here. Catch you later, Lute. I mean, see you later. And without any further explanation, she skips away. I shrug off my confusion, accepting it as the norm when one speaks with Akira, and head back to my apartment. Except something stops me at the entrance. What is it? What is it? I'm too freaked out. Hold on. By this time, all the students are living it up in town or doing nobody knows what in the school rec center. Nobody just hangs around the entrance. For most, the barred gates and curfew are just another sign of the restrictions instituted by helicopter parents. But beneath the shade of a tree in a far corner, I catch sight of two figures facing each other with hands on hips. Oh my god. I thought it was something else. Like, I was freaking out. It's just Misaki and Rui. I inch forward. The figures are none other than Misaki and Rui, immersed in conversation. Must you keep ignoring me, Rui? Because you've been gone for 4 years, Misaki. We didn't know where you went, or even why you had to leave. All these years, Yama and I were left in the dark. For all we knew, you could have been dead. How can you expect us to act like you never left? I still don't understand how Yama could be so forgiving after he almost... You know what? I'm tired of this. Just don't ever speak to me again, Misaki. She turns to stalk off, but Misaki grabs her wrist in the blink of an eye. I'm not letting you walk away again, damn it. Do you believe that I wanted to leave Seto? To move to District 6 with my mother, who, by the way, doesn't even deserve to be called my mother? What I don't understand is why you're blaming me for something I couldn't control. Misaki's sudden outburst seems to catch Rui off guard. District 6? Doesn't deserve to be called my mother? Just what happened to Misaki after she left Seto? Misaki, you're hurting my wrist. Oh, I'm so sorry, Rui. I shouldn't have. The two girls seem to avoid each other's gazes for an awkward moment. Rui is the first to speak, her voice coming out in barely a whisper. Half a year after you left, we gave up. We thought you'd never contact us again. I was okay, but Yama, he thought that someone had left him. Again. Forever. I just seen another, oh my god, a split image. It looked like a family picture or something. Wait. Was there another little kid with them? Did he have a sibling? Oh, I'm gonna have to look back at that when I edit this. He thought that people would just keep leaving him, that no one would stay by his side. He locked himself in his room, pulled himself into a shell. I couldn't reach him. No one could. He didn't trust any of us to stay. Then I dropped by his house one day, and the medicine cabinet was open, and this huge bottle was gone. Oh yeah, so I think Yama did try to kill himself. That's so sad. You mean... Yeah, you know how hands-off his parents have always been. The ambulance barely made it in time. They had to start pumping him on site. That's how bad it was. Oh my god. Was it really that bad? So, understand why I was so upset. I had no idea, Rui. Just where were you, Miki? Why couldn't you have just... Rui breaks off and covers her face with her hands. Misaki's expression crumples. She hesitantly reaches towards Rui. And Rui promptly kicks her in her shin. Dummy, Miki! Why did you have to take so long? Ow! Why weren't you there for Yama? Why weren't you there for me? I missed you. Rui! And now they are draped against each other, sobbing like newborn children. What just happened? Well, I'm guessing they made up, so that's good. I quietly inch away from the scene, feeling the sudden sense that they need privacy. At least they made up. Well, from the looks of it, it almost seems like Rue was just really overwhelmed from keeping secrets. My memory of that time is very faint, but hers must be crystal clear. Her terror, her anguish when she stumbled on me, must have been festering inside her all these years, because mentioning anything could have sent me over the brink. She always had to fake smiles, put me first, pick me up when I'd fallen down. Something itches in the back of my mind, a weird kind of dizziness threatening to overcome me. I force it back until I can become more detached. I really don't want to think about that time, but thankfully I can suppress it for now. But Rue, she was never one to hide away from her feelings. She faced that painful force. Little wonder that seeing Miki again had brought all that to the surface. And Miki, she said she moved to District 6 with Satomi, something she hadn't told me when I first saw her 2 days ago. Why would she resent her mother so passionately? Also, why would they move to District 6, the most poverty-stricken area of Izumo? It certainly makes me curious, but then again, it's really none of my business. At least she and Rue are friends again, so maybe now the three of us can go back to the way we were. Is images keep flashing on my screen? I don't know. I can't hide a smile as I lounge against the couch after whipping some dinner, replaying the exchange in my head. I'm glad that they made up. Really glad. Somehow, it feels like a big burden has been lifted off of me, even though I technically had nothing to do with the argument. And now I'm getting all sappy. Let's see. What should I do tonight? Oh my god. We gotta watch Gover Mecher again. Let's do it. Oh my god. Oh heck. Why not? What's gonna happen this time? The episode opens with President J. Graves chugging along a road in a large SUV, in a shot that looks suspiciously like an American car commercial. Suddenly, a blur crashes down from the sky and lands on the hood of his car, stopping him immediately. Oh my god! Stop right there, monsieur. You are trespassing on the French border. President Grace steps out of the car, coming face to face with a teen in a striped shirt, red scarf, floppy beret, and a thin, twirled mustache. Who is this pretentious buffoon, and what business have you in stopping a Kiraman? I am Demon France, leader of the 865th Resistance. France answers to me, and me alone. This introduction is punctuated by a very sudden passage of out-of-tune accordion. You can order France around all you like, but I'm a proud Akiraman. We have natural rights and liberty, and nothing can hold us down. I know see why your crime rate is so high, non? Are you insulting my freedom? Enough! Gover Mecher, not so fast! The Diamond France suddenly reaches into his beret and pulls out a whip? How did they fit that into a hat? You may have your little toy, monsieur, but nothing can defeat my whip. You think that pansy little whip can take on Gover Mecher? This whip is what keeps my team of visual novel writers, my millions of countrymen in line. Do not underestimate it. Ha! We shall see how great that whip is when I'm done with it. Gover Mecher, mobilize! I surrender. Before Gover Mecher can even chug onto the scene, Diamond France has whipped a white flag out of his beret and is frantically waving it in the air. You... what? Already? We're French. We're very good at surrendering. Is that something to be proud of? We're French. We're proud of everything. Just then, Gover Mecher, in all its stop motion and toy model glory, burst into the scene, whirring expectantly at President Graves. President Graves only taps it lightly on the foot with a sad smile. Sorry, bud. False alarm. I swear that Gover Mecher's shoulders droop in disappointment as it chugs away like a rejected puppy. Suddenly, Diamond France throws the flag into President Graves' face with a triumphant shout. Aha! Victory is mine! What? Where's your sense of honor? We're French. We're very good at being dishonorable. Jesus. Stop saying that. Then we proceed, non? Come, robot of anguish, let us wreak havoc together. As Diamond France dramatically spins around, President Graves claps his hands over his ears. Gover Mecher, mobilize! As Diamond France's robot oozes into its form like some abstract French art film, Gover Mecher tears into the screen with renewed vigor. But Diamond France lashes his whip at its knee, causing it to flop on the ground. Ha! Your little pet is no match for France, non? We'll see about that! He leaps into the cockpit as Gover Mecher jerkily pulls itself to its feet. Diamond France leaps into his own mech, now molded into a deformed Eiffel Tower with a cockpit duct taped to the front, and rushes at Gover Mecher. Prenez ka sales entrangers. I have no idea what the hell that means. Sorry. Speak English, heathen. The mechs crash against each other, swinging metallic limbs haphazardly as Diamond France opened his cockpit, tossing strange objects at President Graves. Baguette of destruction, eclairs of elimination, final croissant. Are these pastries? Ha, they are no match for Pole House chocolate chip cookies. As the French pastries harmlessly bounce off of Gover Mecher's armor, President Graves chucks back his own weapon. It promptly explodes into 100 other chocolate chip cookies, which explode again until Diamond France's mech kneels to the floor, finally defeated. Sacre bleu, you have defeated me. Stick to art, monsieur, since you clearly suck at fighting. I won't forget this. Diamond France shakes his fist in anger as he limps away into the sunset. President Graves only grins smugly, reboards his SUV, and continues down the road, blasting traditional rock and roll with both windows down. Dude, the Gover Mecher just keeps getting stranger and stranger every time I watch it. I don't know. Technically, this series should be abominably offensive, but for some reason, I'm just amused by it. Yeah, it is pretty offensive. I mean, they were talking about... I can't remember what they talked about in the first episode. It was like something about Japanese culture and English culture. And then in the second one, they were talking about obesity. And then in the third one, what was it, the dancers? Like Japanese K-pop culture. And then this one is about French people. So I'm not racist. I'm not trying to be racist. This is what the game has, and I decided to go on the Gover Mecher route. So I'm sorry. I don't want to offend anybody or anything like that. So I think I'm actually becoming fond of it. Oh, I got an achievement. All roads lead to Gover Mecher. Cool. So we got another achievement. Cool, cool, cool. The sudden ring on my phone breaks me out of my thoughts. Who is it? Who's calling me? Oh. Sigh, I better answer this one. Shigure? Ah, Yoshiyama, a most intriguing circumstance has transpired and necessitates immediate regency. I'm not going on another little goose chase if that's what you mean. Oh, I aver that this one is a far more agency than a pure preliminary. Despite myself, I'm intrigued. And what would that be? The police have come to an impasse and exact coadjuvancy for the recent disappearances within Izumo Imperial Boarding Academy. Are you conversant with the cases? I ruefully think back to the events of the morning. Yeah, I'm somewhat familiar with the recent disappearances. Well, I should hope so, given that you attend the very institution. At any rate, you must meet me at the school tomorrow morning. We are scouring every last inch of the campus, even if it requires neglecting sleep. With luck, a crucial piece of evidence may be uncovered. Disappearances? Neglecting sleep? Evidence? What's going on? So, we're searching the academy for a lead of the recent disappearances? That is to what I previously averted. Are you deaf or merely improficient of fathoming such elementary conceptualizations with your tawdry intellectuality? Whatever, dude. Oh my god, this woman. I swear. There goes the canon of verbal abuse. I'm honestly impressed. I can't match her in that regard. But no one disrupts my sleep. No one. And you're expecting me to pull an all-nighter for this? Well, naturally, the case demands it. I'm not doing that. Get some other people to help. On the contrary, I have no qualms with neglecting sleep. You should be the one recruiting. Gather your accomplices as you deem necessary, Ishiyama, and meet me by the school gates at 8 a.m. sharp. But isn't it illegal to share confidential case information with civilians? It ought to be felonious to possess such infinitesimal acumen, yet you are not incarcerated. That doesn't even answer my... Should you choose to go alone, know that you will be spending the entirety of your day in investigation. I'm not even getting paid! If you really don't want to do it, you don't have to. But we both know you're already too curious for that. Oh my god, I hate talking to her. She's a cool character, but it's so freaking hard to read the words. Like, it's really hard. What's really unfair is that she's actually right. Sometimes I wish she was oblivious and stupid, but then again, she wouldn't be Shigure. Guess I have a lot of calls to make. Who we calling? When I arrive at the academy the next morning, I find a fairly sizable group of people gathered by the gate, none of them looking particularly happy with me. Well, look who actually showed up. Elizabeth's definitely the angriest. I probably shouldn't have pulled the blackmail card to get her here, but at the same time, I need as many people as I can get. You thought I wouldn't? Honestly, no. I was the guy who organized this. Why wouldn't I show up? Once an irresponsible person, always an irresponsible person. Would you like some pepper with that salt? I'm just telling him how to improve. Sure you are. You haven't said a single constructive thing. That is true. She's been, she says things, but they're not like positive reinforcement, to try to bring someone up to notice that change and make that action to make a change. Does he deserve it? He doesn't bloody take anything seriously. Has he ever excelled? Ever? Is this still about that stupid project from last year? It wasn't stupid. Clearly, you don't have the brains to understand. Hey, lay off her! Guys, can we just... stay out of this, Yaiko? Look, Elizabeth, I've tried to just ignore you. I thought you would have improved because Yama stopped talking about you. But you're too stubborn to think you might be wrong. You know nothing about me. Stop shooting off your mouth like some ignorant. You come here and say that to me. You votes need to let loose for you spill 'em. Condone what you done, eh? For a second, I found myself double-checking whether that was indeed Misaki Kazuhaya who just spoke. Judging from the fact that everyone else looks just as bewildered as me, the answer is a resounding yes. The commotion immediately comes to a halt, Masato seemingly the only person who actually registered what Misaki just said. She's right. Ain't no use in us arguing. Well, alright then. Guess that's the only way to defuse an angry Masato. What makes it a little scary was how easily Misaki could do so. Elizabeth and Rui turn away in a huff, but they stay silent. I'm not completely sure whether it's out of respect for Misaki or if they simply don't want to have the energy to keep arguing. Well, this is getting off to a great start. It appears you acquired a respectable quantity of potential peons after all, Ishiyama. And now Shigure's here, which will either fix everything or make matters much, much worse. I'm betting on the latter. Wait, isn't that... Eri, what are you doing here? You! I elbow him in the ribs to shut him up. He seems to understand. She is with me, obviously. I, on the other hand, have my own inquiry. By what means have you acquainted yourself with Eri Hiriga? How do I know her? Same school, remember? And yet, you address her with some similitude of fellowship. So do you? How do you know her? I hold no obligation to acknowledge queries impelled by a marginally competent plebeian. With this kind of affirmation of my hard efforts, she moves into the group, examining each person from head to toe. They only stare back, unsure of how to react. Intriguing. Oh, I see. What are you doing? Shigure only returns to the center of the group without another word. My name is Shigure Inamoto. I'm a freelance detective. Ain't you kinda young for that? I'm 26 years of age, you tenuous imbecile, and legally certified. She flashes her badge at Masato, who only shrugs. You're 26? Yes. Pray keep yourself from any further counterproductive disruptions. After a moment of silence, during which she takes a deep breath with Eri, comfortably patting her back, she seems to regain control. You have been summoned on account of an extremely important affair. As you might expect, I cannot divulge details due to the confidential nature of the case. However, I can tell you the following. We are searching for any information that may be related to the recent disappearances of Academy students. You must be meticulous, you must be witty, you must be adaptable, and above all, you must stay alive. Her words carry unusual dramatic weight. A quick glance around the area confirms my suspicions. Every person is leaning towards Shigure, a glimmer of excitement in their eyes. Even Elizabeth seems interested. Heck, I'm looking forward to this. Turns out that Shigure can be inspiring when she really wants to. Investigate all areas of the school until noon, where we shall reconvene at the garden rooftop to debrief. Leave no stone unturned. The lives of innocent citizens lie in our hands. 3, 2, 1, break. Every person in the group tears off in every direction. Only Eri, Rui, and Shigure remain. Rui shuffles close to Shigure with a shy smile. I'm sorry, but would it be okay if I tagged along with you? Being a detective just sounds so cool. But, of course, only if it's okay with you and Eri. I noticed Shigure's chest puff up slightly like a proud veteran aiming to impress the newbies. Rui probably scored extra points by including Eri. Well, if you insist. Eri? Eri glances from Rui to Shigure and back, the edge of her brow furrowing slightly. Shigure, noting her hesitation, tries a comforting smile. Remember? Eri stares vacantly at Shigure for a long moment, then nods, the corners of her lips rising just slightly. It's settled. What's your name? I'm Rui Hayata. We must depart at once, Rui. Enlightenment awaits. And she promptly dashes away. Rui on her heels, Eri briefly glances in my direction as she follows them out. I spend an idle moment relishing the fresh air against my face and the glorious serenity of silence. Then I straighten my shoulders and evaluate my surroundings, ready to start my investigation. Oh, where should we go? I don't know. Let's go. Let's go to the rooftop. I haven't seen the rooftop yet. Maybe I need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. The rooftop is always a good place for a bird's eye view on of the campus. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at it. If I was looking for scenery, the rooftop would be an ideal place to do so. Open-faced and stretching high above the majority of the school, the rooftop is rife with luscious trees and flowers blooming in aesthetic arrangements. It's also fairly quiet, which is pretty surprising given how nice it is. Then again, most of the students would rather be fiddling around on their phones or social media. But I don't really have time to sit and take a look around, so I head right to the edge of the greenhouse and get a good look at the campus. No girls around to woo, it's kind of boring. That definitely sounds like Yaiko. Why, these trees are just as pretty as girls. And that's definitely Akira. What? Trees can't talk? Is it that the trees can't talk, or that you can't hear the trees? Huh? Just because trees haven't had their civil rights movement yet doesn't mean that they don't have a voice. I slide around the edge of the roof towards the voices. I spot Akira perched on the branch of a large tree, and Yaiko slumped in a bench by a bed of roses like a model. But trees don't have brains. You don't either, and look how well you talk. I do talk well, don't I? I'm not surprised that he missed that. I am surprised that Akira would think of such a sarcastic reply. Maybe Rue's rubbing off on her. Wait, what are we looking for again? The meaning of life. We can find that on the rooftop? Well, it depends on what the meaning of life is to you. Can there be multiple meanings of life? That's also up to you. This is too confusing. Forget it. Let's look for whatever we're supposed to do for my good minion. Oh, I wouldn't expect to find the meaning of life in an afternoon. We're not looking for the meaning of life. On the contrary, everyone's looking for the meaning of life. I choose that moment to make my presence known by sliding forward. Akira's face lights up in a brief smile as she waves me over. Suppadoodle dandy, Cap. Cap? Which is probably short for Captain. Why does she keep referring to me as all these military titles? I'm gonna start calling people that, like, hey Sarge, hey Loot, how you doing, Cap? Yama, my good minion. Help a man poor in spirit, won't you? What's that supposed to mean? I can't seem to remember what we're supposed to be looking for. I tried asking this girl, but I'm an Atari 400. Okay, that one's beyond even me. You know, Atari 400, one of those old computers with really tiny memory. In other words, I can't remember either. Why does she look so happy about this fact? Randomly disappearing students, ring a bell? Ah! Say no more, my man. Leave it to me. Leave it to me too. I want to see to root all of our problems. Besides, I've taken a leech into my mysteries. They're growing on me. I can't decide whether those puns are fantastic or terrible. Maybe they're both, as puns usually are. You talk weird, my minion, but as your benevolent leader, I can overlook your little idiocies. That's a little ironic, coming from a guy who can't even properly say idiosyncrasies. Understood, your gracious supreme high majesticliness. What move should we make next? Yaiko's chest swells up for a moment, clearly pleased with being called a gracious supreme whatever. I better jump in before this turns disastrous. We need to do something about the case. I say we branch out. Maybe separate investigations would bear some fruit. Enough with the plant puns, Akira. Is it driving you nutty? I'll get you sycamore puns yet. He's not looking so happy. Oh crap, I can't stop hearing puns, even unintentional ones. Should we cherry him up, or would that just soil it? Wouldn't that take too long? Okay, bring it back. This isn't a comedy show. We need to focus on the case. I know we're in bad shape when I'm the person who has to get everyone organized. Aw, you're a real soul sport, Yama. Because plant puns are stupid beyond belief. I didn't mean to say it like that. Say what? Let's just review what we're looking for. You really don't need to be so snappy. Akira! It's the harshest I've ever spoken, but I can't help it. I can barely handle these two by themselves. Together, they harbor the potential destructive power of a nuclear weapon. So, Shigure is certain that there's a lead to the disappearances at this school. Have you guys found anything out? Ah, my good minion, I'm glad you asked. As I'm sure you're aware by now, the great Yaiko Akari sustains a large and precise intelligence network called Patter. He delicately whips out his phone, pulling out some social media app or another. Yes, I see. What have you defined from the magic mirror, oh fruitiveness awesomeness? Are you sure you can handle all this information? I must take upon the burden for the greater good. Do not hold back, your masterfulest benevolence. Very well. He dramatically flings out an arm, pointing his phone to the sky, as if calling down thunder from the heavens. But first, I require a reception. Your unlimited ominence? That's a bit sad, isn't it? Well, reception isn't good up here. Can't you just use the school Wi-Fi? Why, so I can. And the cap strikes again. I worry for the decaying common sense in my generation. Okay, here's what we got. Patter, my wish is your command. You must now search for me. Hashtag IIBA. How he manages to say that in a completely serious voice, I have no clue. What exactly does IIBA stand for? Instant Iguanas by Architecture, of course. Really, all this time I thought it meant Izumu Imperial Boarding Academy. This combo is a disaster in the making. How about you just tell me what you find? Right, scanning through the extensive network of plebeians, a momentary pause as Yaiko's fingers flick wildly over the screen. Yep, got it. What exactly does that mean? Allow me to enlighten you, minion. 3 students have disappeared so far. The names are Midori Maeno, Tayoma Hayashi, and Akane Tsukino. Okay, so it seems like there's a pattern here. There's a girl that goes missing, a boy, and then a girl. Maybe they're doing like boy, girl, because usually like when like serial killers or people that murder another person, like they usually have like an HMO. Like they have a certain person that they go after and that they want to kill. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. We're still looking into it. Midori poofed 8 days ago, Tayoma around 5 days ago, and Akane just 2 days ago. So they're disappearing in 3-day increments. Okay. And there you have it. I wait for him to elaborate. He doesn't. Is that it? Is what it? We need more info than that. We do? Aw, Cap, let me take over. She gracefully plucks Yaiko's phone from his hands. Alright, Cap, I'll give it to you straight, like black coffee with no sugar or cream. There's something mighty fishy about this whole scenario. See, all of these students disappeared around the same time. Yaiko just said they disappeared within 8 days. Why, I meant the time of day, silly Caparino. You remember the curfew, right? 11:30 p.m. sharp, no exceptions. Here's the thing. All of these kiddos logged in for curfew on time, 11:30, right in their rooms. But then they were gone by the next morning. I'm surprised by her deductive reasoning. Creepy, eh? Logically, she should be scared. Not that Akira has ever been logical until today. I guess rational Akira only surfaces for short periods of time. So, 3 students, one after another, all logged in for curfew before disappearing in the dead of night. And you didn't think to mention this, Yaiko? Oh well, I mean, I knew about it, but like, who cares about that kind of stuff, right? What? I mean, look at what really matters. He seizes his phone back with gusto, excitedly shoving the screen in my face. My Gover Mecher publicity pat. 12,000 repats, baby. Congratulations on this life-changing milestone, your chaotical dictatorship. I know, right? I'm famous. Yeah, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure I've gotten all that I can from here. Oh my god, that was so exhausting. Ugh, I love them, but they are like too out there, man. I quietly creep away to another corner of the rooftop, leaving them to their own devices. Alright guys, I'm going to end this episode right here. Make sure you share the content, leave a like, let me know in the comments what you thought about this episode, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell button for more episodes of Lucid Inciting Incident. You guys have a great night. Bye!